Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Welcome to the 17th series of the International and Domestic Virtual Colloquium, which is also known as COMAT 2022. This colloquium is organized by the Institute of Teacher Education, International Languages Campus, Kuala Lumpur, with the theme Going Global Internationalizing Education. I am Nur Asmaifa, the moderator for today's session, and I hope all of you will stay tuned until the end of the session. Series 17 is a plenary address by the Senior Deputy Rector for the Centre of Academic Excellence from the Institute of Teacher Education, Malaysia. But before that, let me lay out some housekeeping matters. First, everyone who attends the webinar series will be given an e-certificate after each session. Therefore, do not forget to register via the registration link pinned at the bottom of this YouTube channel and make sure to type accurate email address. Second, for warga KPM, you can register your participation in this colloquium in SPL KPM, and the link will also be provided in the YouTube chat box. And finally, we would like to encourage you to share today's webinar with your social network, and don't forget to like us on Facebook and Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce our speaker for today's session. Dr. Rosli bin Yaakob started his career as a teacher in Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Tengku Mahmud Iskandar, Muar in 1989. He was a lecturer in Institute of Teacher Education, Keningau campus, and then Institute of Teacher Education, Technique campus. Later, he was promoted as the Deputy Director in Teacher Education Department BPG under the Ministry of Education. He was also the former Deputy Director for the Centre of Research, Development and Innovation, Institute of Teacher Education Malaysia, and he is currently the Senior Deputy Rector for the Centre of Academic Excellence, Institute of Teacher Education Malaysia, Cyberjaya. Dr. Rosli is involved in managing and monitoring many education initiatives at the ministry level, and he is also appointed as panel and advisor for multiple programs, not only for IPGM, but other educational sectors at the national level. Today, the title of his speech is Redesigning Curriculum to Meet the Demands of Global Expectation. Please welcome Dr. Rosli bin Yaakob.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Wassalatu wassalamu syafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Sayyidina Muhammadin Nabi wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Very good morning. Salam sejahtera and salam keluarga Malaysia. Honorable Datin Dr. Bushra Ali, the Director Institute of Teacher Education International Languages Campus, Kuala Lumpur. Honorable Dr. Hamidah, Deputy Director of the Institute of Teacher Education International Languages Campus, scholars, teachers, students who are here with us today live via the YouTube channel. And first of all, I would like to congratulate the International Language Campus Teacher Education Institute for organizing this international and domestic colloquium known as COMAT 2022. And I am honored to be given the opportunity to deliver this keynote address at this colloquium. The theme for this year COMAT is Going Global. Internationalizing education is indeed relevant and significant, especially when you note with the Institute of Teacher Education aims to achieve global recognition in teachers training, development, and professionalism. Ladies and gentlemen, as well, as we all know, education is one of the most popular topics discussed by the public and experts touching on many issues. With such broad theme and a long list of topics of discussion related to education, I would like to narrow down further and focus on curriculum, particularly on redesigning the curriculum to meet the demands of global expectation. This topic is in line with the role of IPG in training teachers who then will become educators for students, our next generation who will color the future full life of challenges. Before I go further and discuss more on this topic, it is better for us to understand clearly what is meant by globalization. What factors contribute to the process of globalization, and what are the effects on education? Okay, from this slide, there are various definitions of globalization. I put some definition found in the Google. Just for example, globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economics, culture, and population brought about the cross-border trade in goods and services, technology, and flows of investment, people, and information. That's number one. And number two, this means that globalization allows for things to move freely, distributing goods, services, and people across the world is a seamless and integrated manner. And from the perspective of sociologists like Martin Alboro and Elizabeth King define globalization as all those processes by which the people of the world are incorporated into the single world society. So when you talk about globalization in the context of education itself, please go to the next slide. Globalization is the integration and the application of similar education system and knowledge throughout the world across borders, improving the quality and deployment of education worldwide. So there are many more definitions given by scholars, but in essence and in the simple language, globalization means is the processes of activities such as economy, cultures, and institution integration among countries. The important keywords here are borderless. Dalam bahasa Melayu, dunia tanpa sempadan, and integration among people in the world by which we can share ideas, knowledge, information through the latest communication technology. And it also means that our world is becoming unified whole with little or no cultures or social conflict. What this means in the context of education is that students all over the world will be learning and have access to almost the same content, information, and culture through various online platforms. Now, what are the effects of globalization? Of course, the process of globalization is developing rapidly in line with the development of technology, communication network, and the internet as well. As a result, our life are no longer isolated, like katak di bawah temburung. Even now, some of us cannot live without communication tools. Digital technology has created amazing tools and resources, putting useful information at our fingertips. Computers are increasingly faster, more portable, and higher powered than even before. With all of this revolution, technology has also made our life easier, faster, better, and more fun. In the past, writing a letter, sending faxes, finding a wired telephone was the best way to communicate remotely with someone. To connect with someone in society today, we have many more efficient options at our fingertips. You can send them a message on social media, text them, video chat, email, or put a call through. Whether we realize it or not, globalization has changed the education system to a new education system from the conventional education system. A new dimension has been created in the world of education using distance learning method and electronic learning, or which we usually call as e-learning, and for sure the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the new learning method. Globalization also provides job opportunities that are open worldwide. The more international of student education are, the greater is the possibility for them to be part of the institution that are internationally recognized and be a part of the global community. This would enable students to compete in the global labor market. What I have mentioned just now are some of the advantages of globalization. Although globalization is seen to have its advantages, we must not forget the weaknesses of this process. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, when he became the Prime Minister of Malaysia, reminded the Malaysian community not to influence by globalization to the extent that it can destroy the community. Instead, it is necessary to build strength and reject the negative element that brings harm. We are aware that with globalization, significant development can be achieved, and it focuses on the increasingly challenging teaching profession in this country. So this is the challenge of globalization that we need to face by empowering education and equipping students with high skill, especially being able to think rationally about every action taken. In other words, we need to adhere firmly to the national education philosophy in producing holistic students. Now, putting all what have been set into perspective, now do we how do we really design the curriculum to meet the global expectation? Ladies and gentlemen, it is believed that curriculum is a key for changing student performance and well-being, and for preparing students to thrive in the and shape the future. It can help to ensure consistent level of quality across types of education provision and age group, contributing to the more equitable system. However, if curriculum remains unchanged for years, it may lack of necessary innovation to adapt to changes in society. Therefore, countries radically reform curriculum to ensure that it is relevant to students and to the world outside the world. Okay, we go to the slide number 5. So in Malaysia, the curriculum went through several changes and transformation for the past 20 years or so. The curriculum went through a major overhaul with the introduction of the KBSR, Integrated Curriculum for Primary School, in 1983, and then the KBSM, Integrated Curriculum for Secondary School, in 1988, which put an emphasis on integration of knowledge, skill, and value towards producing holistic individuals. Then from 2000 until present period, the Malaysian curriculum saw changes in the medium of instruction twice, and the introduction of the KSSR, Standard Curriculum for Primary Schools, in 2011, followed by KSSM, Standard Curriculum for Secondary School, in 2017, which use what is known as a modular-based system. The teacher education curriculum at Institute of Teacher Education also implements changes, in particularly by including elements of global education. Global education and cultural diversity are also taught in the basic uh, education course, khusus asas pendidikan such as MPU 3142, penghayatan etika dan peradaban. The new improved curriculum goes beyond acquiring communication skills, self-development, and the children's immediate environment. It is designed to enhance and embrace the use of science and technology, develop values, understand humanitarian issues, and focus on the children's physical and aesthetical development. The role of the teachers also changed. They are no longer the sole provider of knowledge, but as a facilitator, a person that guides and supports students' learning. This development signifies that Malaysia is staying up to date in its curriculum to meet the demands of global changes. Ladies and gentlemen, we may wonder why it is necessary for curriculum to change. Well, this is for our children to have the knowledge, skills, and also the values to face and overcome the challenges, not only the current times, but also the future. In this fast-paced, progressive world, what worked very well in 1983 is just not good enough today. Just as Tony Wagner, you can see in the slide number 6. In this book, The Global Achievement Gaps, stated that mastery of basic skill of reading, writing, and maths is inadequate for learners to function effectively in the modern globalized world. Instead, they are all need to know how to think, to reason, analyze with evidence, and problem solve. With the advancement of technology and complex development in thinking, it is vital to incorporate new skills into the curriculum and to ensure that our children can perform successfully on the global platform. They also need to be equipped with the strength of character and leadership qualities to be successful. The transformation that is happening in our curriculum indicates that the Ministry of Education Malaysia has a clear goal and direction in developing a curriculum that the global relevant. I truly believe that global curriculum is necessary because its modern perspective and mindset, and it is created in the inclusive manner. Now, putting what have been said into perspective, how do we really redesign and the curriculum to meet the global expectation? Basically, when we talk about global education and redesigning the curriculum, we are also referring to the 21st century education, which focuses on 4 areas. That is knowledge, what we know. We need to consider integrating the traditional subject like mathematics and language with the modern subjects like robotics and entrepreneurship. This will create a learning that cuts across multiple disciplines. And number 2 is a skill, how we use what we know. 21st century skills such as creativity, critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and others are essential for absorption of knowledge as well as for work performance. And another one is important is character, how we engage in the world. Also known as behavior, attitudes, values. There are important aspects to consider since students are faced in the increasingly challenging world. As complexity ramp up, we need to rediscover the importance of teaching character traits such as adaptability, persistence, resilience, integrity, justice, empathy, ethics to prepare students to defend, protect, and protect themselves with positive values. And the last one, this important aspect is meta-cognition, how we reflect and learn. Through reflection, we can activate transparent, build expertise, foster creativity via analogies, and establish lifelong learning habits. Through reflection thinking, students are able to think deep, exploring and expanding numerous ideas. So, ladies and gentlemen, according to the, go to the slide number 8, the next slide. Okay. According to Charles Fedders, 2011, in redesigning the curriculum for the future, three key questions must be answered. One, what will the world be like 20 years from now? This is not about machine and robots, but about attributes concerning quality, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity, coupled with the impacts of technologies such as internet, artificial intelligence, and others. And the question, the number 2, what would students learn and school teach to be successful in the world of the 21st century? How would formal and informal education be shaped? And what issues to be addressed and how to relate and integrate between these two? And the question number 3, what are the feedback loops between of what and the how? For instance, what should foreign language teaching become an age of the automated machine translation? What kind of mathematics should be taught given the power of computing? And what are we learning from the neuroscience of education? And how do we improve assessment and embedded a lot more formative mechanism for assessment? So from what has been described about the globalization, now we can imagine what skills each student must have in meeting the demands of global future. Nodding 2007 also list down essential abilities to the student need to learn. Okay, go to the next slide. Just for examples, ability to communicate effectively, ability to work as a team member, flexibility, preparedness to face changes and challenges, preparedness to identify and solve problems, skills in analysis and conceptualization, capacity and willingness to learn new things, ability to question, challenge, and innovate, willingness and capacity to assume personal responsibility, and capacity for self-reflection and self-management. And there are another areas of global education that should be exposed to our students. Like for example, for the next slide, you can see the next slide, slide number 10. Yeah, like global citizenship, conflict, global citizenship, conflict, and you can another is diversity, human rights, okay, etc. So this is the skill that the student must have uh, in order to functioning in the global world, in the future world. So to answer the question of how it can be implemented in the global curriculum, there are some suggestions. Okay, can we go to the next slide? Number one, we should develop programs and modules that would stipulate global knowledge, competencies, and values. Then there should be opportunities given to students to consider global perspective on their subjects and its application to global case studies or speakers from more than one country or culture. And also we should provide reading lists. They are not limited by the scholarly perspective of a single origin. And course material should be not only be contextualized based on the one country, but include other countries' specific focus for comparison or with other culture. And the next slide also is the some of the suggestion. Uh, Discussion should be involved as exploration of professional practice and integrity in the variety of cultural setting. We should also develop training, support, and opportunities to work effectively in the variety of cross-culture group work stewardship. Attempts should be made to engage in learning activities either with other students on different programs or with students from partner institutions requiring cross cultures and interdisciplinary perspective. The group of students what we have may not be particularly diverse. So, ladies and gentlemen, my final thought of today, I believe if we want our children to be successful and globally uh, competitive, we must rethink how we implement educational changes. And we must ensure that even the poorest schools and students have the best resources and support for the needed education changes to produce good citizens. As a conclusion, I would like to read what Sexton wrote, that's shown in the slide 13. Yeah. Those of us who are passionate about possibilities of education are summoned to design a mode of learning for the world in hyper change. We are asked to prepare tomorrow's citizen not for a single predefined career until retirement, but for the life of accelerating, unpredictable velocity. At the same time, we are responsible for transmitting and cumulative wisdom of the past, the fruits of the finest of the finest minds and heart preceding us, and for the imparting the qualities for rigor the compassion that must be cultivated in order to flourish. Based on this, I also believe that functioning effectively in the world of hyperchange will require knowledge, skill, and disposition that are remarkably different from those required century ago. Education must be beyond knowledge acquisition and must also nourish the learners the abilities to think, to create, communicate, and problem solve, to understand and appreciate multiple perspectives. With this repertoire of skills and knowledge, learners will be able to face unknown challenges, as Remus says, inventing the future that enhance human well-being. On that note, uh, thank you to all, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. It was a very enlightening session we had just now. Doctor, we have actually two questions here. We have seen many changes and transformation in our curriculum so far. When do you think the curriculum be changed again? Or is our curriculum uh, continue changing without stopping even as we speak?
Yeah, thank you, moderator. Uh, I think we have must the changes is one of the what we call as dynamic curriculum that we have to face in education, and the changes is depend on the what is the situation and the context of education of the futures. Maybe at this time, I can say that the technologies here today maybe it's not suitable for the next 5 years. So the skills that we need also have to change, and the curriculum is respond to this situation. Then we have to say that the curriculum will be changed in another 5. We have to review, we have to relook at the curriculum in the 5 or 10 years for start from now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. One more question, Doctor. Just now you were sharing with us about the global mindset. From IPGM's perspective, can you share with us what are some of the initiatives to prepare our teachers so that to prepare our teachers and also at the same time encourage them to have this global mindset?
Yeah. One of the programs, and I think what we should do that we have to expose the student, the Siswa Guru, to at the international level. We maybe we can collaborate with others countries to have some of our programs, some of our initiative that we can communicate with others, with different culture, different society, and then we can have what we call the internationally mind of the student. This is important. It's not we just to do the some of the program locally, but we have to look at the broad perspective, or we have to go abroad to have to get some of the experience from what we can see others people do. That is a very important thing. But maybe the challenges is yeah, we have to get some funding money. So okay,
Thank you so much, Doctor. Um, and thank you for delivering the speech on the redesigning curriculum to meet the demands of global expectations with us today. Indeed, with the demands of global expectations, our curriculum has to be realigned accordingly to ensure the teaching and learning are continually relevant. I'm sure that many points that you have shared with us today they are all very enlightening and we can take with us and continue to prepare ourselves to meet the global demands. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that remark concludes Series 17 of our colloquium today. Be sure to join us again tomorrow, Thursday, 29 September 2022 at 10 a.m. Malaysia time for the final series. And with that, thank you very much.
okay, thank you.